What if one person, literally just one human being, could end sustained poverty in America? Not make it better, not chip away at it, end it. Crazy? Yeah, I get that. Right now, I'm writing a book called Jeff Bezos Could End Poverty. And look, I know how that sounds, but stay with me because the title is not really about Jeff Bezos. He's more like a stand in for maybe 500 people in this country who have the right mix of money, connections, smarts, and influence to make this happen. Bezos just makes for a good headline. And here's the kicker. Our problem is not money. Our problem is will, actually choosing to get it done and doing it. I met a woman, call her Maria. Maria is 34 and works two jobs, convenience store during the day, cleaning offices at night. She does everything society tells her to. She shows up. She works hard. She does not complain. And she is still broke. Her car died last week. Needs a $400 repair. That's it. Just 400 bucks. But she doesn't have it. So now she rides the bus, which tacks on maybe 45 minutes each way to her day. Less sleep, more stress, probably going to get sick soon, might lose one of those jobs. And then what? That is poverty in America right now. It's not about being lazy or making bad choices. It's a trap. And getting out costs way more than most people have. Now, here's the crazy part. We know exactly how to help Maria. Like, we have mountains of research, hundreds of programs that actually work, things we have tested in real communities with real results. We know what to do. We just don't do it everywhere. Let's talk numbers. According to the Census Bureau, about 38 million Americans were living in poverty in 2023. The World Bank agrees, as does Columbia University. So roughly 11.5% of our population. Now, according to the Urban Institute, it would cost us about $175 billion a year to lift every single American above the poverty line. Brookings and the Economic Policy Institute show similar numbers, somewhere between 150 and $200 billion. Jeff Bezos, Forbes, Bloomberg, and the Wall Street Journal all peg him around $200 billion total. In 1 year, his net worth bounces around by more than we would need annually to wipe out poverty. But wait, it gets better. We already spend money on these things. The feds drop about $800 billion a year on anti-poverty programs, according to the Congressional Research Service. States and cities add billions on top of that. Then you have private charity kicking in another 90 billion a year for human services per Giving USA. So we're not broke. We're just really, really bad at organizing our money. We have thousands of different programs that do not coordinate, different rules for who qualifies, different applications, different offices. People fall through the cracks constantly. Think about it like this. Picture a house on fire. You've got 50 people standing around with garden hoses, all spraying water from every direction, bumping into each other, tripping over hoses, nobody talking to anybody else. You have enough water, you have enough people. What you do not have is someone saying, you hit the left side, you five take the back, you two go inside. That is how we fight poverty in America right now. Someone like Bezos could be that fire chief. Get everyone pointing their hoses the same direction. Build systems that actually connect people to help. Use tech to cut through the red tape. Take all that money we already spend and make it work better. And yeah, add more cash where we need it most. So why Bezos or someone in his league? Obviously, the money, right? But throwing cash at problems does not fix them. The Gates Foundation learned that the hard way. Bezos has built stuff. The guy took a bookstore in his garage and turned it into this massive machine that can deliver anything to your door in 2 days. Fighting poverty needs that same kind of systems brain. People listen when he talks. If Bezos said, "We're ending poverty and here's how," every news outlet would cover it. Other rich people would pay attention. He could make fighting poverty cool among the billionaire crowd. He knows or can get to absolutely everyone, every CEO, every big donor, every governor. He could get a room full of the 100 richest people in America and say, "We are doing this together," and they would actually show up. And the guy innovates. Amazon did not just sell stuff online, it changed how we think about shopping, shipping, computing, everything. We need someone who thinks like that looking at poverty. Here's what I really want you to chew on. If we know what works, if we have the money, if we have seen communities actually eliminate poverty in different ways, exactly what are we waiting for? Do we not think poor people deserve it? Are we afraid of losing cheap labor? Have we convinced ourselves that poverty happens because people make bad choices instead of because our systems are garbage? Or has nobody with real power just decided to do something about it? I think it's that last one, which is exactly the best news possible, because that means we can fix it. In my book, I'm mapping out the whole thing, 20 years, step by step. The numbers all work. I'm breaking down what we do, savings accounts for every kid in America, tech platforms that actually help people find resources, housing first to end homelessness, healthcare that does not bankrupt you, job training that leads to actual jobs worth having. I am spelling out who does what. Federal government has to do its part. States and cities can lead on some of it. Nonprofits need to work together instead of fighting over the same donors. Churches have to do more than hand out canned goods, and corporations need to pay people enough to live. I'm even profiling other people who could do this if Bezos doesn't. Mark Cuban, Barack Obama, Mackenzie Scott, and others who have what it takes. Because listen, and this matters, calling the book Jeff Bezos Could End Poverty is not about letting everyone else off the hook. It is not sit around and wait for a rich guy to save us. It is saying if one person has this kind of power, imagine what millions of regular people demanding change could do. When we make ending poverty something normal people actually care about, when being a billionaire who does nothing becomes embarrassing, when our churches and unions and neighborhood groups all push for the same solutions. Maria with the broken car should not have to hope Jeff Bezos wakes up one day and decides her life matters. But right now, our systems are not helping her in the ways she really needs. And people like Bezos have the juice to change those systems. The question is not whether we can end poverty. Studies from MIT, Stanford, the National Academy of Science all say, yeah, if we get organized and strategic about it, we can absolutely do this. The question is whether anyone with power actually wants to do it. For the next 2 years on this podcast, I'm going to show you how it works. Real evidence, real people, what succeeds, what fails, who has power, and what they are doing with it, and how we build enough pressure that they cannot ignore us anymore. Because poverty can be solved. We just have to decide we are actually going to solve it. I am Sean Spence. Thanks for listening. If this got you going, send it to someone who needs to hear it. Want more? Visit povertyactivist.com. Talk to you soon.